We will chant Om 3 times. Let's take a deep breath in normally and exhale normally. Now breathe in for Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Satchidanandarupaya Vishvotpatyaadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, relax your body, bring a smile on yourself. The Divine Prabhu, Yogiraj, Parabrahm Krishna, in the form of a boy or a girl, is happily getting nurtured inside your wombs. That very Krishna is more excited today to hear his own story and to take inspiration to make the positive transformation in the world. Invoke your Ishtadev and your Gurudev request them to come and sit with you and be the giver and receiver of the Katha. Let's open our eyes. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. We can switch on the cameras if we want to. Else, it's also okay. Why Krishna is Jagadguru? Why no one else is Jagadguru? In the wonderful recital we did just now, we talked about two things. One, Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Nobody can be just a Jagadguru. And Jagat is not just our world. Who knows how many universes are there? But to be the Jagadguru, you should have two things. One, you should have the knowledge. A knowledge which can be understood or explained in the form of tark, or a knowledge which cannot be explained in the form of tark. So knowledge could be something that can be understood in the form of logic, and there is something called as beyond logic, not illogic. That is kutark. For instance, we are sitting here, and then we are sitting in a very big place called your city, and then we are also sitting in our country, and then we are sitting in this round ball called the earth, and then we are sitting in a solar system as well. But let's say somebody says, where do you live? I live in the solar system where earth is there. Now this guy would think that, what is he trying to say? I am also living in the same solar system. But then, the first person can say that, but I am not lying. I am talking logically. And I am in the universe as well. And then I am in that big Brahmand, the Srishti. But what is beyond that Brahmand? Maybe I can't comprehend. But for the most powerful, the God, it would be just very easy to make infinite such Brahmandas. We can't imagine that. Even our thought process has a limitation. To what extent the infinity can go. And that's where beyond logic comes into picture. Because logic is a set of principles which govern a particular territory. Beyond logic is way big. It's very abstract. The way the laws of gravitation alter, I would not say change, but the ways the laws of gravitation alter when we change the G, which means the gravitational pull, depending upon whether we are on Earth, whether we are on Moon, or we are on Jupiter. In the similar manner, one single logic cannot explain the magnanimity of our being that is all pervading. So, this is first thing to become a Jagat Guru. Knowing something both through logic and through beyond logic. And of course, being able to explain that as well. The second thing that makes a person Jagat Guru is to live the knowledge he or she propounds. What if you go and tell your child, don't use your phone. Don't use phone. It's not good for your eyes while you are scrolling the reels. The child would be confused. Maybe the child will think that don't means do. A toddler is just making sense of the actions and then associates that with the word. Don't eat chocolate and then you are munching on something. You should be the living embodiment of the knowledge that you propound. Bhagwan Krishna is. So whatever he said, he did it. And not just once. It was the middle of the Mahabharata war. You are about to start that. You're on the brink of a war. You're just standing on the battlefield, and Arjun was getting cold feet. Not because he was coward or something. He wasn't. He wasn't coward at all. But he was overcome by something which a good fellow would anyway be overcome by. That why should I kill these people? They are all mine. And what's the point of getting a throne on their dead bodies? I know that they all have wronged us, and not once, and not just for a shorter duration. But still, it may not be a good idea to kill them. And Bhagwan Krishna is listening to all that. And he says something very profound. He says, Arjun, their death and their lives are all in my hands. They are dead anyway. You just have to become the instrument. If you want, anyway they are going to die. I can kill all of them. I can kill their bodies right away. But then if you will not do it, you being the king, you being the most powerful and the most wonderful archer, the Kshatriya of the highest order that people call you, then people will get the message that if these big people can go away from their righteousness, what is there to stop us? See, world is filled with inequalities. And in a way, these inequalities make up the world. Imagine everybody is earning exactly the same, living exactly the same kind of life. How boring will that be? So there are some people who are more powerful, some people who are more intelligent, some people who have more money, and some people who would have less money. That's all right. But then the people who have relatively less, or the popular class, they always emulate the ones that they aspire to be. Isn't that why we aspire to be near to or similar to God? Give us those virtues that you are living by. Because He is at the highest pedestal. And one, of course, should aspire for highest values. So, if the more influential people in our society will not do the right thing, the less influential, the popular class, would have more incentive to go astray. So Bhagwan Krishna said the same thing to Arjun. Ki this is your dharma. You have to do it. You are not just an ordinary being. And then he says, I don't have to do anything that I'm doing. I don't have to get up. I don't have to brush my teeth. I don't have to take bath. I don't have to do yoga. Anything. But still I do it. Because if I will not do it, no one else will have the incentive to do that. This is called application of knowledge. And that's why Bhagwan Krishna is Jagat Guru. And a guru has one very interesting trait. And you might have realized that if you have a guru. Guru will never solve your problems. He would rather confuse you more. I'm telling you. First rule is that you never select your guru. A guru selects you. And second, when the guru selects you, then guru will make your life miserable initially. So that you start to question whether this is the right person or not. But then suddenly something will happen at the testing time, then you will realize, oh, it was all for my benefit. When Bhagwan Krishna was reciting Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, at the end of every chapter, he would leave with something that would confuse Arjun. And then Arjun would say, you just said it, and now you are taking a U-turn. And then Bhagwan Krishna will further explain that I did not take a U-turn. This is what I meant. At the end of another chapter, he would once again do the same thing. So when we listen to the sutras, when we listen to shlokas, we should understand the context. And that's how they help us. A while ago, I heard somebody say this, that it is good to lie if it benefits somebody. Because Bhagwan Krishna said so. And then I asked that person, okay, when did Bhagwan Krishna say this? So he said that when, Mahabharat war was going on and Dronacharya was not getting defeated, then he convinced Yudhishthir to lie that his son is dead. But Yudhishthir was not willing to lie, so basically, first Bhim killed an elephant that was of the same name as the son of Dronacharya, and then there was a half lie that Yudhishthir promulgated. So I said, all right, very nice. But what kind of good dharmic thing that you are trying to achieve with this? So he said that I'm taking an exam. And if I do not cheat on that exam, it was an entrance exam. If I do not cheat on that exam, then I will not clear it, and then I will not reach the college that I desire, and then I will not be getting the right job, and this will make my family miserable. So isn't that a wonderful thing that I am trying to do good things for my family by lying? And I laughed so hard. How we make up things for ourselves. Bhagwan Krishna said that lying is the last resort, and that too only when you are trying to ensure that dharma prevails. But we distort it. So it was Manu and Shatrupa. In a particular birth, they did a lot of penance. And then they asked Lord Narayan to give them a child that is just like them. Narayan said, nobody is like me, so I'll come. The same thing is said to Dashrath and Kausalya, that in one birth I am going to come as Ram, and in another birth when you will be born as Vasudev and Devki, then I'll be born. So it was time. There was a king called Kans. He wasn't actually a king. He was the son of a king there. King was Ugrasen. But the son was very demonic. The story goes that somebody took the form of the king and entered the room, and the queen did not realize that. And as a consequence, the son was born out of that demon who took the form of Ugrasen. And that was Kans. Very evil. So one day he realized that maybe my father is running the business in a very noble manner, and I don't want that. So he jailed his father. And he became the king. But he loved his sister, who was Devki. Kans loved Devki so much that she was like a daughter to Kans. And Kans had a friend called Vasudev. Kans requested Vasudev that, would you marry my sister? Vasudev was interested. He was a nice fellow. He said, why not? And then Kans got them married. There was one more reason for Vasudev to get married to Devki. Because Kans was so powerful, and Vasudev knew that if he would not say yes, then he would be killed. And the only way to ensure that dharma prevails in the society is for someday to him to take the throne or his son to take the throne, so that Kans gets killed and once again dharma gets established. And if he is not there, no one else will have the ability to do that. Vasudeva was already married. His first wife was Rohini. And then Kans got Vasudeva and Devki also married. There was no problem between Rohini and Devki as such. Why would there be problems anyway? They never reached home. So Kans realized that I would want to drive the chariot on my own, and I will drop my sister to her husband's home. And while Kans was driving the chariot with Devki and Vasudev, in the back of it, an Akashvani happened. Akashvani said, O Kans, the one that you are taking to Vasudev's place now, their 8th son will become your death. 8th son. Kans loved his sister, but Kans loved himself way more. The moment he got to know that Devki will be responsible for his death, Kans took out his sword and approached to kill Devki, but Vasudev came in between and stopped Kans and requested, Kans, please don't kill Devki. She is your sister. If the problem is with the unborn child, I will give you the 8th child. Kans said, no. How would I know? You might mix up a 7th or 8th child, 6th or 8th child, who knows? I want every single child that is born. To save his wife, Vasudeva agreed. He said, all right, I'll do that. But then Kans was not still satisfied. Kans said, but you can't even go back to your home. You will have to live in the jail. Because who knows if you are giving me the right kid or not. And then they both were jailed. And they were chained also. Kans ensured that there is that kind of security there that nobody can reach them. And the moment Devki delivers a child, the first news would reach Kans. The time came and it happened. Kans got to know about that. He came back. He forcefully took away the child. and he threw the child on the wall and child died. Vasudeva and Devaki could not do anything. Anyway, if they had tried some misadventure, Kans would have killed Devaki. And Vasudeva did not want that. It's his responsibility to save his wife. And one after the other, 6 kids were gone. But 7th was very important. Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Krishna, because they took the human forms, they have never came without the support of Sheshnag. So the Sheshnag would ensure that every single thing gets sorted for Bhagwan so that he can do whatever he has to do. So Sheshnag was now in Devki's womb. At that time, Rohini came to meet Devki. Guards allowed Rohini because, come on, she is the wife of Vasudeva and that's all right. And then the womb was transferred. The embryo was transferred from Devaki to Rohini, and Rohini came back. Then Kans got to know that 7th child was conceived, but he was not born. So where that child went? He never got to know. Few months later, Rohini bore a child, and that child was named Balaram. Thou. And the interesting thing about Balaram was that Balaram did not move as such, and he did not utter any word, any sound. It was like Balaram was just almost dead. Few weeks later, Devaki conceived, and this time it was Bhagwan Krishna. And when Bhagwan comes, all your obstacles go away. So when it was about time to deliver the baby, multiple flashes of light happened in the sky. It was a dark night. It started raining heavily. And Narayan, with his Maya, ensured that every single guard that was there would fall asleep. Just before he was about to be born, he gave the Chaturbhuj Roop Darshan to his mother. And his mother said, come back to the baby pose. I wanted you as my child. I don't want you as my God. Take away that smriti from me. And then Bhagwan Krishna started crying. But nobody heard those cries. At that time, their chains got untangled. Multiple doors were closed that were opened automatically. All the guards were absolutely in deep sleep. And then Vasudev realized that I probably have only some time to ensure that this baby lives on. See, God will not keep on doing everything for you. He will give you the opportunity that now you can do your stuff, so why don't you do it? It was now Vasudev's time to ensure that his baby lives on. There was a little tokery, little basket. He had one cloth only on him. He kept that cloth on the basket and then put his son on it. Nothing else to even cover. But then he was also in a very different zone. Nothing else was visible or known to him other than the fact that I have to take this child across the Yamuna river to my friend Nand. And there, in Gokul, Nand and Yashoda, they also delivered a baby. But Yashoda was asleep at that time, so Yashoda did not know that she had delivered a girl child. That girl child was the Devi Maya, which came on the insistence of Bhagwan Krishna. And then Vasudev started his journey from jail to the village of Nanda. It was heavily downpouring. So the Sheshnag came out of the Yamuna river and made a little chhatri, an umbrella, so that big drops of rain do not fall on the toddler, who was just what? Few hours old. Devaki did not even get the chance to caress her child. And keeping the basket on his head, Vasudev started walking, and then he started swimming relentlessly in the pursuit of reaching the other side of the shore. He did not stop. And when he reached the other side of the shore, he went to his friend Nand and said, Nand, this is my son. That Akashvani said that will kill Kans. Now you take care of my son. Nanda realized that it is very important, yeah? And Nanda was the best friend of Vasudev. He knew how evil Kans is and how important it is to kill him. And no one else could do that because he was very powerful. It was a strategic maneuver. So Nand said, wait, Vasudev. Yashoda also delivered a child. You take that child. Because if Kans gets to know that there is no child consecutively for the second time, then he will get some idea and he will wreak havoc on all the children in the entire Mathura and Gokul region. So to save everybody, Nand gave his daughter to Vasudev. Vasudev came back. The moment Vasudev came back, all the chains were tangled back. All the gates were closed, and suddenly the guards were woken up. And then that baby started crying. Guards thought that it was business as usual, so guards ensured that this news reaches Kans. Kans came back. Kans saw the baby. The moment Kans wanted to grab that baby, a massive light emanated from that baby, and she lifted herself up and came in the form of divine Maya and said to Kans that, Kans, you want to kill me? I am not the eighth kid of Devki. The one that is going to kill you has already been born. And then she vanished. She came only for the job of Bhagwan Krishna and she went away. Kans became furious. There was no point in killing Devki also now. So he invested all his energy and resources in finding the boy who was somewhere. And then he got to know that there has been a wonderful celebration in Nand's village. People are just giving everything to each other and still nothing is getting emptied. People are so happy. Nand ke aanand bhayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal ki. And what Nandji did not give to people? Hathi dine, ghoda dine, aur dini palki. It was as if everything is there now. And when Vishnu would come, why won't Lakshmi be there? And Lakshmi ji thought, how should I live in this place? So she thought that maybe I should live as soil in this place. The moment Krishna arrived, everybody is giving so much of gift to every other person. And the gifts that they had mostly was doodh, makhan, dahi. They would go into their home, pick up a matki, give it to somebody. Oh, badhai ho, badhai ho. Kanha aayo hai. Kanhaiya is here. And then someone else will come, give it to us also. And they realized, okay, I had only one matki. They go inside, there was another matki. And so much of celebration kept on happening for days. And then Nanda realized that, come on, kids have been born earlier also. What's so special about this kid of Nanda? And then he thought that maybe, but he wasn't sure. So he called a demoness called Putana. And Kans said to Putana, Putana, you go to that village and do something about it. Putana said, all right, what I'll do, I'll put some poison on my breasts. And I will feed all the babies that are born in these 2-3 days. Putana went and she kept on doing it. It was because everybody trusted everybody, and in village, this is a concept that, you are not the only mother. Everybody will just take care of you. Sometimes if the child was crying and then the mother was not around, some other mother, that means, your neighbor mother or somebody would feed you. So they realized that maybe, And Putna took a very, very beautiful form, very motherly sort of a form. So people said, okay, all right. And then Putna would feed the kids and the kid would die. This is the same thing she did with Bhagwan Krishna also. But Bhagwan Krishna realized. And then Bhagwan Krishna requested Mahadev, Mahadev, you drink the poison, I will drink the milk. Mahadev said, all right. यही तो मेरा काम है, this is my job. And then, the moment Putna started feeding little Kanhaiya, Kanhaiya bit Putna. And she cried in such an agony that she revealed her true self and became so massive that it was like 10-story building and Kana was on the top story. Still suckling until the time Putna gave out and she died. The moment she died, Kana slipped from her hands and safely landed on a pile of hay. And then Putna fell. In fact, in Srimad Bhagavad it is written that Kana was still on the breast when Putna fell. So the people had to use stairs to go up the body of Putna and take Kana. That's how massive she was. And that is the reason why Krishna was playing with the kids of not his age, but they were quite old. Bhagwan Krishna had a lot of friends in the village. Lot of friends. Nobody was of his age. Because every other child of his age was dead. Kans kept on sending so many demons, but Bhagwan Krishna kept on killing them. The wonderful thing about Bhagwan Krishna is that in his avatar, he never missed a chance to show that he was God. While in case of Ram avatar, he never ever showed that he was God. And then Bhagwan Krishna was 11 years old when somebody from Kans' court was sent to bring the two brothers to see a Mela celebration in Mathura, while Kans actually wanted to kill Krishna with that. Bhagwan Krishna was just waiting for this moment to arrive. He reached there. First, Kans tried to kill them with mad elephants. Bhagwan Krishna killed the elephant. Then Kans sent his most powerful fighter, Chanur. Chanur was so mighty that if he would take a rock in his hand and he would do this, the rock would crush itself into soil. That's how powerful Chanur was. Bhagwan Krishna killed him also. And then Bhagwan Krishna ran to the throne. And with one mushti prahar, he killed Kans and liberated his parents, his king, and then gave the king the throne back. King said, I don't want the throne. You keep the throne. This is yours. You won it. Bhagwan Krishna said, no, I don't want that. It's yours. I just came to free my parents. And in the entire duration of 125 years that he was on earth, he was never the king. He was the kingmaker. Although everybody would agree to whatever he says, but he was still not the king of even Dwarka. It was Vasudev, his father. And because his father is Vasudev, Bhagwan Krishna is also known as Vasudev. That means the son of Vasudev. When Bhagwan Krishna left a particular place, he never returned there. He ensured that only the karma prevails. He ensured that whatever reason he has come here for, that reason is well done. So he left the Nandgram. And then he also had to leave Mathura. And then he settled in Dwarka but could not live there also for a long time because he got to know that Pandavas were facing a lot of struggle. So he stayed with Pandavas for a long time. Then the war came up after a few years. And he ensured that the war is won by the side where Dharma is on. Within the war zone, he gave the most important discourse to humanity. And the discourse was that it's your job that you have to do. You just do your karma. And not be anxious about the result. Why? Because result is not in your hands. Karmanyavadhikaraste. Ma phaleshu kadachana. The karma is in your adhikar. It's in your control. Phal is not in your control. Action. The fruit is not in your control. And in due time, he left the Bhulok for his holy abode. And even after 6,000 years, we look forward to the principles and the life of the person who went through the life with a smile despite the challenges that were there in his life. The challenges like being taken away from his parents the moment he was born, not being able to see his 6 brothers, then getting attacked so many times in his childhood, then having to leave Gokul to get settled somewhere else in Nandagram, and then to leave Nandagram, and then to leave Mathura, and then to be attacked 17 times by Jarasandh, and then not even being able to live in Dwarka, coming to Hastinapur, trying to mediate, then being part of the biggest war mankind had ever seen. And then managing the feuds back home. And then realizing that his family has grown so big that they have started doing the things which no good person should do. And if these guys remain there, then the world will not be a better place. So he ensured that his clan of Yadavas is also ended. And then finally, while he was resting under a banyan tree, he was waiting for an arrow to hit his foot. The arrow from the same archer who was Vali in Treta Yuga when Bhagwan Krishna killed him in hiding as Ram. So Bhagwan Krishna cleared all his debts when the archer came to Bhagwan Krishna and said sorry that I did not know it was you. I just heard the sound and I shot my arrow. He said, no, this is not your fault. You were Bali in the previous birth. I killed you in the hiding. So did you. Now we are even. And he suddenly vanished and reached Vaikunt. Let's close our eyes. May the intelligence, the power, abilities, resilience, perseverance, smile, beauty, and all the wonders that are part of the 16 Kala avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu, Yogiraj Shri Krishna, come in your wonderful child. Narayanaaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.